Welcome to episode 11 of Mouth Dancing with your host Young. Today I was wondering why people don't work out their faces. I mean, you pretty much work out every other part of your body if you go to the gym, right? Like from your neck down to your toes. And I've heard of women or, people who are concerned about wrinkles and things like that doing facial exercises. I guess, I don't know, it firms up your face or it helps too. But I've never really heard about anyone doing like a serious face workout. It seems like the only part of your body where people don't get really intense about working it out. But I think that it could be good if you had a really strong face. Because, if you get in a fight with someone, that's probably one of the first places they're going to attack, right, is your face. They're going to try to punch it or kick it or scratch it or whatever, slap you. But if you had a really strong face, it could probably help in that regard. It wouldn't hurt as much. And also, there's also the additional beauty benefit of it. Because people do some sort of facial exercises. But it's pretty mild activity. It's not like a serious workout where you're, tying weights to like your lips or something and lifting them up off the ground. Or, putting something on your face, some kind of weight, and working out your jaw or your cheeks or your nose or your eyelids. I mean, you could work out pretty much every muscle in your face probably if you really wanted to. But I just don't really hear about it that much. I was wondering if anyone out there knows about this or does this. I know I've seen people on TV where they tie some sort of a weight to their face. And it just kind of hangs there. I think people do that for like the Guinness World Records book. Or they like stretch out their earlobes or their mouth for jewelry. But it's not really an exercise when they do that. It's more like a stretching type of thing. And it's just a hanging exercise. It's not like they don't do reps where they lift them up back and forth a bunch of times. But I bet that would also be good for actors, too. They could have really expressive faces, if they worked them out more. I know some people naturally can make, like, really exaggerated facial expressions. But if they worked them out, they could probably make them even more exaggerated than they already are. Like some people can arch their eyebrows really high. Makes them look extra evil. Or just make their smile really wide and crazy looking. Might even make your face more attractive too if it's really strong. And then that might become something that people look for in another person. Like, I'm looking for a guy or a gal with a really strong face. I could tell, that person works out. Look at their face. Look at the muscle definition in their face. They must hit the face gym at least 3 or 4 times a week. And I think that it would be good for your health overall, too. You don't want to always, work on the same muscles all the time when you go to the gym. It probably gets a little bit boring. So if you went and worked on your face, it could add some variety to your workout, too. I was also wondering why people say penis and testicles usually, or dick and balls, or some other sort of variation where it's almost always the penis that comes first and then the balls. People almost never say like nuts and then dick, like, oh yeah, you can see that guy's nuts and dick. So I was wondering why the testicles, or the penis gets like priority over the balls when you talk about them. I don't think it's any more important than the balls because without balls, none of us would be here, right? That's where all this sperm is produced in a man's body. And I don't know, pretty much any penis will work to get a woman pregnant, I think. Maybe it's because men take the most pride in their penises, you know. They're like, that's really big and really attractive. But you never really hear about people, you know, bragging about their balls that much. Except sort of metaphorically, they're like, I have big balls, you know, as in like I'm a really brave guy and I'll try pretty much anything. Or they say that about someone else, right? That guy's got really big balls, but they mean it generally as a metaphor. And it's always, you know, the focus is generally on the penis, you know, the shaft and the head, and I guess the base of it. It's kind of strange though. I mean, is there really like a hierarchy for women? I guess people generally only talk about a woman's vagina, right? I mean, sometimes they talk about her ovaries or her fallopian tubes or her uterine wall or something like that. But generally they just say vagina. And I think that covers pretty much the whole thing. All the stuff inside of it too. Yeah, how come people don't say like a woman's vagina and ovaries or something like that? You know, how come it's not like a set of genitalia like it is for men? A man has a dick and balls. He doesn't just have like this one thing that kind of covers the whole genital package. I guess sometimes people say a guy's package, but even then I think they're generally talking about just his dick. They're not like, oh wow, did you see that guy's balls? They were awesome. You could see his balls through his really tight pants or something. They're generally talking about, oh, that guy had a big dick, you know. They're talking about the shaft part and the head. You always hear people talking about a guy's dick, but almost never his balls. Or you could get kicked in the balls. That hurts a lot. And that's a place where people aim for, like, in self-defense. I think it also hurts to get kicked in the penis, too. Probably less, though, than it hurts to get kicked in the balls. I guess in that case, the balls become more of the focus than the penis. Another thing I was wondering about is why is it okay for animals to be naked in public, but not for people? Because animals can wear clothes, too. They make clothes for animals, and you just, you know, put it on. And like a dog can wear a sweater, or even pants. But one thing I've noticed about dog clothes even is they don't cover up, you know, any of the dog's private parts. I have a dog, and we have a bunch of clothes for him, but I don't think any of the clothes cover up his, you know, his areas, any of his private areas. And like humans have private parts. We always talk about our, you know, how they're private, and we have to hide them from the world because, I don't know, it's kind of a shameful thing, right? But animals don't really have any private parts because their parts are always out in the open. Maybe it's because animals don't care. They don't feel any shame about it. Or maybe they do, I don't know. They can't really express themselves in words and say, you know, cover me up. I feel embarrassed being naked in front of everyone. But I mean, I guess, what's the difference though to like, let's say there's a group of people who are really sensitive to nudity and obscenity, and like, they really freak out if they see a naked person, right? But how come they don't freak out if they see a naked animal? What's the big difference? You could still see all of the, you know, the genitals and the butt and everything. Yeah, it's just something I was curious about. I've never really heard of anyone getting offended at seeing a naked animal. Oh, I know people laugh though sometimes if a dog or another male animal gets an erection. That's kind of messed up though, to laugh at that animal. I guess it's pretty funny too if a guy gets an erection and walks around like that. Is that considered obscene? What if the guy couldn't control it? He just got aroused somehow. And he's still got his clothes on, but he gets an erection. Is that considered lewd? I think it would be lewd if the guy did it on purpose all the time. But what if it just happened like once or twice, and it was totally unintentional. I mean, that used to happen to me in high school, and I'm pretty sure it happens to lots of guys at that age. Is you just get excited, and you have to like cover up your area when you walk out of class or something sometimes. I mean, you could even see like animals, doing it in public, and it's okay. I mean, they can show that kind of thing on Nature Show. I mean, that's kind of weird that that's considered totally okay, but to see it humans doing it is something different. Seems sort of hypocritical, doesn't it? So we have to teach people to not be as ashamed of themselves and their natural bodies, I guess. The other day I was walking my dog on the sidewalk, and this guy came from behind me, or he came behind us, and he was walking past me, and I was on the left side of the sidewalk, and he passed me on my right, and he said, "Going by on your right here." And I just thought that was really weird. I was like, why did he announce that to me? Did he think I was drunk or something, and I was just going to suddenly veer to the right and run into him, or I don't know. I don't know why he did that. It was like he was warning me to keep a distance from him. Maybe he was worried about coronavirus? Or maybe that's just some sort of etiquette that he follows for some reason? I've never really seen anyone do that though, like except like in a work situation, like at a restaurant. But that's like a safety measure. You don't just do that all the time when you walk past someone. Imagine if you were in a busy city like New York, and you did that every time you walked past someone. Going by on your right here. Going by on your left here. I mean, you would have to say that like hundreds of times a day. So after he said it to me, I said, "All right, thanks for letting me know, dude." And I said it kind of sarcastically because, to be honest, it kind of pissed me off that he did that for some reason. I don't know why it pissed me off. It wasn't like a huge deal or anything. Maybe he was just trying to be polite. But I got a sort of a passive-aggressive vibe from his voice, the way he said it. Like he sort of thought I was totally incompetent and I was just gonna, I don't know, like run into him somehow if he didn't say that. Or he was worried that I might do that. I don't know, I'd really like to know what any other people think of this situation. Was I in the right to interpret it that way, or was I being too sensitive? Because it's something I don't know, I've almost never seen that happen before in public. I guess I've seen it in really crowded places where you kind of have to do it just to let someone know, because, they could easily suddenly stick their elbow out or something. And, maybe you're carrying food or something, like at a party. In that situation, I understand why you would do something like that. But it didn't really make sense to me for him to do it outside on the sidewalk when there was plenty of space. I guess I'd want to know if someone was going to like leap over me or like walk through my legs. Then I'd definitely want them to announce it to me. Or if they were going to try to do some sort of maneuver as they went past me. Like I'm about to sashay past you, or I'm about to twirl as I pass you. I think I'd want to know because, that might be a little bit alarming if someone just suddenly spun past me or did some sort of like jumping dance move, like a ballet move. I think it makes sense too if you're on some sort of a fast vehicle, because that could be a little bit dangerous if someone just is unaware that, you're like hauling butt on your bike or something, and then you pass them on the right and they don't know you're coming and they suddenly turn right. But when we were just walking at a slow speed, I was walking really slow too because my dog was with me. And, the turn up ahead for the next block wasn't for a while. I mean, there was plenty of space. So it was just really bizarre to me that he did that. If anyone's got an explanation, I'd really like to hear it. It's not like I'm that upset about it or anything, but it was just a little weird. Also, I think it would be nice if there were some really nice terms for male masturbation. They tend to sound really violent, and they sound kind of nasty, like spanking the monkey or choking the chicken. I think there should be some terms that sound really beautiful, like pumping the fountain, or lovingly stroking the love rod, or something like that. I think that would be much better than some of the terms that are popular. Because generally male masturbation, I think, has negative connotations to it. Not always, actually. But a lot of times, it's sort of a thing that people laugh at the thought of. I think it has that image because of the words we use, so I kind of want to change the image it has by calling it pumping the fountain, for instance. Anyway, that's all for this week. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll talk to you next week.